everyone, today we're going to be playing Katawa Shoujo. Let's get right into it.
A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. I'm sorry, it does what now? This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. Deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah, yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens, the snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky, the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. Oh, is this somebody I like? Is it my date? It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I'm like, what? I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna give her a love letter. Iwanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Man, I spent all an afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. You gonna reject me? Be still, my beating heart! My heart is pounding now as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. Sorry, what? So, here we are, out in the cold. It's you and me. Once again, the wind stirs up in the branches. The what? Noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know. Go out with me. I stand there, motionless, save for my pounding heart. Oh God, I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating of my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky was happening. Iwanako running toward me, all these fade to black. And I pass out. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Well, I sure made an impression there, didn't I? It's been 4 months since my heart attack. I had a heart attack? In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. I don't know what that is. A strange word, a foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was going to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better and more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Oh my god. Of course there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt like I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But visitors soon dwindled, and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Dude, this is sad. Iwanaka was the last to stop visiting. Oh, she visited? After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they're in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait to see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands, but I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. Other times, all the times that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. What? But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. Is it my birthday and I don't remember? Or I don't know? There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers and settling them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. "Hello, Hisao. How are you doing?" I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. "I believe that you can go home. Your heart—" "I can go home? Your heart's stronger now, and with some precautions you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Nausea. Oh, wow. The absurdly long list of medicines start staring back at me from the paper seem insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and diagnoses are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it, tempting to only make me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day? Oh, yeah, you would have to take them like forever. I'm afraid that this is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. Why not? What? Please calm down, Hisao. We'll listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever of my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. You've spoken to them, but not to me? It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Okay. Disabled? What? It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Okay, that sounds pretty okay. Independence. It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're only there to help, right? Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mom and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look of a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Like, a couple weeks back and you only mentioned this now? I don't like that you didn't, mention this to me and get my opinion first. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This is an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity! Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. Who likes school, bro? I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, special school, that is, an insult. Oh, that is what I want to say. It's a step down. Is it? It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That is correct. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. What? I really hate that something so important was decided for me. I do agree with that, yeah. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I had always thought of my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact that I know that now it's futile. I looked around the room, feeling very tired of all of this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. Yeah, we can at least try, see how we feel. Maybe we're just in our feels right now because it's new and a lot of mixed feelings. Yeah, a clean slate isn't a bad thing. It's all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. Correct. I had a special class. It was an ESE teacher. I wouldn't really say it's a class or anything like that for my learning issues. At the very least, I'll try and see what my new life will be like. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. Pompous? In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. I mean, do schools... I feel like mine had a gate, but I don't remember what it looked like. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked toward the main building of a Yamaku Academy, and with this brisk pace, I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. That's nice of them to bring my stuff. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Oh, so it's like a welcoming area, or... Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. Oh, I guess I don't like that. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley, even though I was told this is my new school. In the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Maybe. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. It makes me wish there was somebody here I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again, how they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. I honestly feel like blue is a more calming color. That's just my opinion. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? I don't know. I wouldn't really say that green causes any sort of like comforting feeling to me. I mean, it's great to see things that are like lush and flowery and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like green itself doesn't really shout calming. Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, this was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, wait, can you, like, not leave if you enter? Or are you, like, not allowed to leave on your own accord? Or, I don't know. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter, as I'm shrimping in this chair. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Nina Niki? Me with names. Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The hand nurse asked me for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. We're waiting already. Oh, they're waiting. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking, do they do that in schools if you're like new or something? They have you introduce yourself in front of the class? That sounds terrible. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Why? Yeah, of course. Okay, so I have choices. Oh God, I guess. How do I... Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? I would have no idea. I've never had to do that, I don't think. Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of attention. Yeah, I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. That's a lot of threes. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. Whoa, that painting. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step. I know that, but there isn't any point to worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I wouldn't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. Hello everybody. How you doing? I am very new here. I don't know anybody. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high and there's lots of space left over around and in between the desks. An eerie wall taken up by blackboards and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for the books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? Just because you don't see somebody's disability doesn't mean they're not disabled, my guy. Don't make assumptions about somebody's disability. I mean, he can't really even see his own. It's a heart condition. They're probably like me and have something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I noticed that one of the girls seemed to be missing the thumb on her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice the flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me, a girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. Oh, do I like her? I find her attractive. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. You can't see me. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery-looking girl with pink hair sitting next to her. She is really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing and thanks for the applause I did not deserve. Why did you cringe? My collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai. And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. I said nothing. Everyone seems to be satisfied even with what little I said. They're probably grateful that it was so short, honestly. A few girls are whispering to each other like, is this guy cute or what? Throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along with letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently. When he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so it'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hika Michi, who's that? She's the class representative. Okay. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? I guess. How could I know? The teacher passed out the day's assignments and announces that we will be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow, the teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh right, Hakamichi's right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Gonna point at her. He calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes. Wave her hand at me. It takes a seat next to her by the window. Oh, it's the girl I noticed earlier. Hey, girl. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Oh, wait. I'm the one who said that. Sorry. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you, too. But it's not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. She-chan. Oh, okay. So this girl over here is... Okay. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once, nonchalantly, just to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully neat brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, you'll be able to talk to people and who better to explain things to you. Come on, dude! I can see you're a little confused, right? But I understand why you would think I was... God, She-chan. She-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. And I'm the interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you, too. You're the new student, aren't you? Well, She-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today so soon. He-chan, right? He-chan? Yep, it fits, doesn't it? I don't know. Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits. You look like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like He-chan. What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hikamichi taps her finger on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. Oh, Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Or sorry about that. She-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, she can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that'll be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you can go there, not just with school either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, She-chan? Learn about where you're going. I guess it didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it halfway. But anyway, I don't say anything, and Misha signs something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. How do you know? I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. What? Why are you so sure she's talking smack about you or something? Come on, don't make assumptions. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Very true. Asking for help is perfectly normal as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. And another thing, you don't have to call She-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her She-chan. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate? Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. See? Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, but less so, I guess. Oh, huh? Alright, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or She-chan will get mad. Oh, we don't want that. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to show sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. That is every class anything. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than everyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. I'm the person that's just like the third party who's just like sitting on their hands. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Mutel down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the building, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Here, her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There is a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. I mean, I feel like every school should have that, honestly. It should definitely do that because everybody has a different diet. Everybody has a different set of things that they need or weights that they wish to maintain. How nice. It almost feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with specific precision to meet the needs of the patients. What? You're complaining about having better options? Dude, when I was in school, they just gave us the one option and it would be like some pizza slice, some milk. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite? Do you want to know something? What? About anything. We're your guides, so you should ask if there is something. I wonder. I think I got everything I need to know. Ask about Shizune's deafness? Wouldn't that be rude? Why would I ask that? Ask about the library? What do I need to know about the library? Oh yeah, is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten... Oh yeah, he's into reading, duh! A lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. There it is! It's in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime. Thanks! I return to my food while all the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me. Are they talking about me? But Misha refrains from translating. Okay, I know it's talking bad about him, being, I guess, paranoid earlier about thinking that they were talking about him, but now I do feel like they're talking about me because they're making little glances while they're talking. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. They're like, this guy is kind of cute. I don't know. I quickly notice the conversation inside is not enough to fill the silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before slumped over her desk at the last row. Hey girl! She jumps a little and Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm out of here. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of the school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. It should be the start on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. That's me in any school section. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Besides, Misha, burps, are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hajaan. We've got to hurry already since there's a lot of work for us to do. That's unfortunate, girlies. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. I guess I'll have to. It's okay. Oh, wait, the teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Oh, yeah, I have to do that. Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Oh, yay! Come on, the nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out the other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks as it's actually a part of the main building. That's the auxiliary building there, huh? There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. Swimming pool? In a school? How is that official? Don't be silly, Chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. That makes sense. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. Whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? Well, obviously, dude. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in, hoping this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. There's a giant crack between those tiles, and it bothers me! On the white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to the knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounded like a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. Hello? The room is not large and smells strange, probably medical stuff. A friendly-looking man turns around in his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils. There are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Jeez, dude, you ever clean your desk? Hello there, what can I do for you today? He is a young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard of the very same question hundreds of times. Oh, I'm just in here, chilling for no reason. Why, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by my name or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right. I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation as he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai! I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related cognition, heart muscle insufficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so let's just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. I don't know what he was expecting. This is a nurse's office. Like, obviously it's going to feel like a hospital. It's basically a mini hospital, except they're not going to do things like surgery. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it, because he said it's a hospital. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people out of school. Is it weird? I don't know, I had a nursing section in my school. Did I get middle school? You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of paper around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and all the equipment you would expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 meals a day and from all the good from the 3 times a day and from all the good food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? I do soccer. He grins as his own joke, but I don't know. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being, until we know, like, for sure if my medication's gonna be good for me, how much I need. Oh, my lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just have something to do. Okay, well at least it doesn't bother me. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Concussion. Is it normal to get a concussion from soccer? I mean, I know it can happen, but is it common? Was the previous one caused by sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise will do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even like jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. Swimming maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure that you've been told this before. You just need to take care to not overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize this point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. It goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. Quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. Well, they do go here for who knows how long. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? What? One of us? One of us. I don't know, sorry. I should go somewhere too to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There is a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It's on to my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. That would make sense, yeah, because he has been in the hospital for months, right? The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pump house for what it is, so I push forward going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 109. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways, as any building should. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose it's perfectly fine with me. Maybe I can hook up with one. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Small corridors, why? Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and shower as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just two of us here. Oh, that means the rooms are pretty big, right? Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside, I hear a few movements and then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. What does that say? A bespectacled boy standing in the doorway. He's looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hello. Sorry. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce my... His face suddenly brightens in realization as he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude? My name is Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it. Why is your hand sweaty? Still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. They weren't suspicious. They were my parents. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust chances. The only one I trust is myself. Okay? Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Oh, well. Just got straight up rejected first thing. Yeah, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment, searches for the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. Blanket's pretty ugly too, not gonna lie. It's no one's room, personal, like my hospital room was. Well, the thing is that you can personalize this, so that's why they make it so impersonal. And these things, I'm assuming, is so that you can personalize it further on. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hee-chan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. That is true. I kind of hoped that I would have. Then there would be something to do. Oh. It's still too early. I put the note back on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Well, you have a desktop and you're complaining about being bored? Play some online games or something. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. Then go to the library. Stop complaining. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming in for the entire day, too. I still am, I think. Man, I have to distract myself somehow so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Good idea. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hello, Nakai. 2 tablets daily to stay alive. What? It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resented it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I began my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. What? The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of dark. Do I not have like a thermometer to change it? Like per room? Or is it just like everyone's based on the same number, even though everyone would have a different, like, comfortability for heat and cold? Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew.